Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into one of the absolute coolest stories from Korean shamanic lore, specifically the epic tale of the Jacheongbi from Jeju Island. We're going to trace the incredible journey of Jacheongbi. Now, she isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill mythical figure, no. She is a proactive, incredibly clever heroine who, legend has it, is the literal reason we have agriculture and grains right here on Earth. It's an amazing story because it blends epic heavenly journeys with some serious quick-witted problem-solving. It's a perfect look at how our ancestors understood the world around them. Let me ask you this. Have you ever actually wondered how the grains we eat every day, the rice, the barley, the wheat, made it down to the human world? Our ancestors didn't just see farming as some mundane daily chore. To them, it was a literal divine gift won through bravery and serious intellect. Okay, let's dive into this and see exactly how Jacheongbi secured our everyday food through a truly wild mythological adventure.
Chapter 1. Jacheongbi on an unfamiliar path.
So picture this. With literally no map to guide her, our brave protagonist blindly picks one of 8 mysterious diverging roads. And this path? Well, it leads her to a completely unfamiliar and magical place known as the Seochan Flower Garden. But this isn't just a pretty botanical garden you'd stroll through on a Sunday. The flowers here hold absolute mystical powers. We're talking flowers that can control life and death, while others can literally dictate laughter and tears. It's a realm of immense divine power. But wait, it's not all sunshine and magic flowers here. The local ruler, the flower inspector, Sarade Wong, is dealing with a super spooky situation. Out of nowhere, an unfamiliar owl has shown up in his backyard and is crying ominously. And if you know anything about these ancient stories, an owl crying in a sacred space like this, yeah, that's a massive red flag. It's a definitive sign of an incoming curse or misfortune. Chapter 2, Quick Wits at the Flower Garden.
Now, Jacheongbi desperately needs an audience with this divine inspector, but obviously you can't just waltz up to a god uninvited, right? While she's scoping out the area, she spots 3 young kids off to the side, completely squabbling over a tiny little bird they managed to catch. Instead of shoving past them or ignoring the chaos, she steps right in with this perfectly calculated negotiation. She says, "I'll give you 3 pennies. Take 1 each and give me that little bird." Boom. She smartly diffuses a chaotic situation using just 3 pennies. Everyone walks away happy, and she gets exactly the props she needs for her master plan.
And guys, her master plan is brilliantly simple, but honestly, kind of ruthless. First, she secures the bird peacefully. Then, with pinpoint precision, she shoots her own arrow directly into the dead bird's eye. Yep. Then, she just tosses the whole thing straight over the wall, right into the king's yard. She is thinking like 3 moves ahead here, deliberately setting up a crazy scenario that will absolutely force the king to come out and give her an audience. She confidently knocks on the door and makes this spectacularly bold claim. She says, "I shot a flying bird and it fell in your yard. I came to get my arrow back." Naturally, Sarade Wang goes out to check, and what does he find? A bird with an arrow perfectly piercing its eye. To hit a flying bird right in the eye, that's an impossible archery shot. The king sees this undeniable proof and is instantly blown away by her god-tier skills. Her brilliant trick worked like a charm. Chapter 3, Jacheongbi becomes the goddess of farming. Having earned his utmost respect, she continues her journey all the way up to the highest heavens. She finally arrives at the legendary Sky Palace, the Cheon Hagong, which is home to the Jade Emperor's farm and pastures. This is the big moment. She makes a crucial request to the highest deity, the Jade Emperor, and guess what she asks for? The heavenly grain seeds. She isn't asking for gold or jewels or magical weapons. She's asking for the very foundation of sustenance to literally save humanity from starvation. To put this into perspective, before her journey, the human world's fields were empty and completely barren. But upon her return, she didn't just dump the seeds and peace out. She actively visited her earthly parents, shared those precious heavenly seeds, and literally got her hands dirty, helping to plow the fields for the people. This proactive, hands-on work completely transformed the barren earth into a landscape of bountiful, magical harvests. This monumental achievement established a brand new divine hierarchy over agriculture. Here's how it shakes out. Moon Do-young, her husband, became the Sung-sen-gung, the high god of farming. Jacheongbi herself rightfully took the seat of Jung-sen-gung, the middle god. And Jung-sunam, a figure she actually took with her to help manage earthly farming, became the Ha-sen-gung, or the low god. Together, this trio of Senyang gods watches over every single aspect of agricultural life. Chapter 4: The Secret of the Buckwheat Seed. This grand tale actually has one final super relatable twist. If you look at harvesting seasons in real life, you'll notice a funny anomaly. Why is buckwheat always planted and harvested so much later in the year compared to other staple grains? Well, our ancestors actually wove this real-world biological quirk directly into Jacheongbi's mythological timeline. So, what's the answer? Well, despite being this brilliant, powerful goddess who literally outsmarted a divine inspector, Jacheongbi made a very human mistake. When she was gathering all those seeds from the Jade Emperor, she accidentally left the buckwheat seeds behind in heaven. Oops. So she had to make a totally exhausting second trip all the way back up to the Sky Palace just to retrieve them. Because she brought them down to Earth later than all the rest, buckwheat is forever destined to be planted and harvested late.
It's such a fantastic little detail, isn't it? It really makes you wonder, how do these charming ancient myths continue to color the natural rhythms of our daily lives? The story of the Jacheongbi beautifully bridges the gap between grand epic mythology and the sweaty everyday reality of farming. So the next time you enjoy some late harvest buckwheat noodles, you can thank a quick-witted goddess and her forgetful second trip to heaven. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the origins of the everyday wonders around you.